Buddha.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday football for all my NFL fans that are out there as well. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Hopefully, you're all having a good day. Hopefully, you're all enjoying your weekend. Hopefully, you're all doing well. What is going on, everyone? What is going on? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? I'll say what's up to the chat here momentarily, but real quick, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share this channel out with everyone you know. Hit those heart emojis down there at the bottom. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers, folks. So we are not too far away. So if there's anybody that is watching this for the first time, or if you're watching this on X, come over to YouTube, hit that subscribe button, join the Strike Zone crew. Let's continue growing this channel. Appreciate everybody's support as always. Your support does mean the world to me. And I mean that. So let's say what's up to the chat real quick. We got CT Cards. What's up, CT Cards? How's it going? John the Beagle Dad, what is up? Who else we got in the chat? We have Ken in the chat. What up, Ken? How's it going? Jake Boss. What's up, Jake? How's it going? Mr. Barros, how are you? Mr. Barros, I know tomorrow's a special day for you, so I haven't forgotten. Let me know. Okay, I know we discussed it. You know what I'm talking about. Let me know. I did not forget. What's up, Jonathan? How's it going? Dev Finch, what's up, Dev? How's it going? Bronx Bombers, good morning to you. What is going on? Nosebleed section, good morning to you. What's up? What's up? Jared Williams, what is going on? Yeah, CT Cards, I share your pain, dude. I'm a Giants fan, and yeah, I'm not looking forward to the season. The Giants suck, but that's a conversation for a different day. But, you know, it is what it is. But shout out to everybody in the chat. Good morning to all of you in the chat. How's everybody doing today? So the Yankees finally secure a series win, and it felt like it was a long time. You know, it felt like it was a while. I can't believe they won a series. Like, yeah, they actually don't have to play a rubber game today, but they do have an opportunity to sweep. And the last time they swept was against the Philadelphia Phillies, and that was back in late July. All right. The good news is the Yankees won. The Orioles lost, so the Yankees have a half a game lead in the AL East, which is good news. But, of course, that lead needs to be a lot bigger. All right. And also worth noting, too, that the Yankees have not allowed any runs by the Chicago Cubs in this series. So they shut them down 2 straight games. The Chicago Cubs bats have not been able to produce. So shout out to the Yankees pitching. You know, you had Luis Hill, who pitched a great game on Friday, and Clark Schmidt made his comeback since for the first time since May. Right, he's been out for a while because of an injury to his lat, and you know it wasn't like the strongest of outings. You know, he just went a little over 4 innings. He didn't get the win. He did get 4 hits, didn't allow any runs. He gave up a walk, struck out a couple of batters, 75 pitches. You know, and in the 7 games that he's pitched on the road, Clark Schmidt has a 1.34 ERA. So, which is good, you know, that's needed, especially on the road games. And the Yankees do extremely well on the road. I don't know what it is, but they do extremely well on the road. They have the best record in all of baseball. They have a 45-29 road record this season. Their record at home, not the greatest, but their road record is phenomenal. But real quick, I have somebody in the back waiting, and it looks like he is ready to go. If you're ready to go, man, he gave me a thumbs up. He's ready. So I got my boy Ace in the building. All right, the Ace Avenue. He's got his Yankees fitted. He's got his Giants jersey. I forgot to wear my Giants jersey, but we'll get it. We'll wear it. We'll wear it for the play by play. But Ace, welcome to the show, man. What's going on, bro?
What up, dude? Can you hear me good?
I could hear you just fine.
Appreciate you for having me back on. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah,
asked me to come on here a day. I was ecstatic to jump back on here. This is a great channel. You're a good dude. So everybody make sure that you hit that like. More importantly, hit that subscribe because it's free. It costs you guys absolutely nothing for good Yankee content. The Strike Zone is where it's at.
I appreciate you. Yeah, and for those of you that are not subscribed to the Ace Avenue, make sure you guys subscribe to the Ace Avenue. He does a good job over there on his channel calling Yankees games, and I know he does stuff with like movies, and I know he's a big NFL guy as well. So yeah, go
Yeah.
subscribe to his channel. He does great work. I like the interaction that he has with his people there. So yeah, go support my guy. And like he said, it's free to subscribe. It don't cost you a dime or a penny.
That's right. The best way to support the channel. That's right. Yeah, man. The channels are doing good, man. I'm glad where it's at. I'm happy to see your growth as well. Football season, like you had said, you know what I'm saying? Like I definitely got to start stepping up my Giants content. You know, it's difficult, especially with the Yankees playing. The Yankees are in the right smack dead in the middle of a pennant race. Like you had said, we are a half a game up on the Orioles. Thank you to the Tampa Bay Rays yesterday, but we got to get it done. The Yankees got to get it done. And to be honest with you, we got to complete the sweep tonight. Today, I should say, 2:20 start time. I know it's going to get lost in the shuffle with everybody talking about football and how excited it is, but 2:20 start time, Garrett Cole on the bump. We have to get it done, man. Like you have to. I fully expect to go in there and sweep this team, especially with what we saw yesterday, which is crazy. How many balls did you see? Because I know you were calling a game. I couldn't call the game yesterday. I've never seen that many balls get knocked down the outfield because of the wind. That was crazy.
Well, that wind in Chicago is no joke. I mean, it is the Windy City after all, so
Yep.
it's definitely no joke. But yeah, man, there was so many balls that could have gone out yesterday. I mean, Judge would have. He almost had 2 home runs. I mean, Giancarlo almost hit a home run, or yeah, Stanton almost hit a home run.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, the wind, man, that wind, it ruined it. I mean, the Yankees still ended up winning 2-0. I mean, it could have been more, but it was the wind. The wind definitely played a role in yesterday's game. I don't know if you heard it, but the Yankees have not allowed any runs in the series so far.
Yep.
So the pitching has been shutting it down. So, Luis Hill looked good in his comeback after a couple of weeks. And, Clark Schmidt, was it like statistically speaking, was it a good performance? Not a good, but he still got the job done. Right. And then Nestor came in out of the bullpen and still did his thing. He looked good out of the bullpen. I'm not saying he should be a bullpen guy, but he did have some comments. I don't know if you saw that quote. Okay. So I'll pull it up real quick just so everybody else can see it. Let me share this real quick and I'll read it off. What do we got? Yeah, here we go. Yeah, so this was put out by Brian Hoke, folks. This was what Nestor Cortes had to say. He said, Nestor Cortes was not pleased with being moved to the bullpen this turn through. Obviously, I was upset. I feel amongst all the starters, I've been the workhorse here, Cortes said. Once Garrett Cole went down, they picked me to be the opening day starter, not necessarily the number one, but the opening day starter. I had to switch my routine there, and now they do this. I'm never going to back down from a challenge. I'm never going to leave my teammates out to dry. You're always going to get my best effort, no matter if I'm happy or not. That's what I did today. I just came out there and proved that I can be put in any situation from here on out. If that's what's my role, then I'll accept it. What do you think, man? How do you feel about what he said? And folks in the chat, let me know what you think about what Nestor said.
Before I get into my thoughts, like I said, forgive the bleediness in the background. Anytime you wear similar colors, that green screen be peaking.
That's all good, man.
But I'm gonna tell you this: I'm mixed about this because if you really were, you first of all, you're entitled to feel upset. That's your, you know what I'm saying, your prerogative. You're entitled to feel upset. But if you really are a team guy, why would you come out with these type of comments? You should have just said, I'll do anything for the team to win. don't let it be known that you're upset, especially considering how rocky you've been. You're calling yourself a workhorse. You've been extremely rocky this year to the point where your name was thrown around at the trade deadline. Then you came out with those comments like, "Oh, I'm proud to be a Yankee." Like those comments that he came out with right before the All-Star break, and then all of a sudden he started, playing terrible right after that tweet. But it's like I just feel like you should be lucky to be here because you could have easily got shipped out at the deadline because his name was out there. But health-wise, Nestor Cortes has stayed healthy the majority of the year. Workhorse, to me, is a stretch. Now, the whole throwing out the first, like they had me, opening day. Big deal. So, I mean, it is a big deal. But it's not like, the Yankee opening day where at home, because Stroman wanted to do that. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, I get it, but why have to put that out there? You should have it would have just been easy if he was just like, look, I'll do whatever it takes for the team to win. Plain and simple. You know what I'm saying? Like, I played well out of the bullpen, which I was one of the people that clamored earlier this year for him to be in the bullpen because it gives you that another lefty arm, that experience, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got a preview of what this rotation could have been like all year. Cole, Rodon, Stroman, Schmidt, Luis Hill. So one of them had to go. You weren't going to do a 6-man rotation. So I was always on the boat of Nestor could be gone this year or have a significant bullpen role. But what did you think about his comments?
Yeah, man. So, it's worth mentioning the last time he made a relief appearance was July 23rd of 2021. So it's been 3 years. So it's not the first time he made a relief appearance.
Yep.
Now, for me, listen, he has a right to be upset, and that's fine. And yeah, he's been like the only healthy starter really in this rotation, other than Rodon. Rodon hasn't really missed any time either. I want to say
Stroman got pushed back, but he didn't really miss time.
Back.
Yeah, he got pushed back like a couple of days for mechanical issues, but he didn't miss time either. So
yeah, Nestor. Look, my thing with him is he is a number 5 guy. I'd say, your record should be better than what you're speaking about. That, even as a number 5 guy, because there's been a lot of inconsistencies with Nestor, especially on the road. He's been inconsistent. Although it's funny that I say that because he's had some better as of recent. His road games have been a lot better than his home games. So I don't know what version of Nestor we're going to get. So it's one of those things where when Nestor's on the mound, I was like, okay, are we going to get 6 to 7 innings of Nestor Cortes where he strikes out 7 to 8 batters? Or are we going to get Nestor Cortes that only pitches 3 or 4 innings and he gives up 5-6 runs and you got to take him out and you got to rely on your bullpen, right? I don't know what version of Nestor we're going to get. So Nestor, to me, it's like, yeah, you've been the healthy starter in the rotation, absolutely. And you're doing what the team is asking of you, but that's your job. If I'm getting paid millions, and you're telling me, hey, you're gonna come out of the bullpen, you know what? Sign me up, man, because it's like I'm still getting paid at the end of the day. I gotta help this team win. I gotta put my ego to the side. He's making it sound like he's been the best pitcher in the rotation. He's like, oh, and they're doing this to me. It's like, no, dude, like you've had your moments, but you've also been inconsistent. And I too have been the one that's saying, Nestor could be that guy that does go back to the bullpen once they have everybody back. He's been my pick to go to the bullpen. Not so much some folks have been mentioning Clark Schmidt, but I think Clark Schmidt is a guy that does belong in the rotation, and he's shown great improvement. But I think I like Nestor coming out of the bullpen personally. I don't mind it. He is that guy that you can bring in from, if one of our starters goes, 4 innings, he could be that guy you bring in the 5th inning, and he could give you, 3 or 4 solid innings, which he did yesterday. So, he got the win yesterday. So he did his job. He did fine. And, at least we know that he's still going to go out there and perform. He's going to do his job. It's not like he's just going to leave, like he said, he's not going to leave the team to dry. Like he's basically said, I'm upset, but he's like, I'm still going to do my job. I'm still going to go out there and perform because that's what I need to do. It's my job. I'm getting paid to do my job. But I like Nestor Cortes, but he's a number 5 guy. He's with his comments, he made it sound like he was talking like an ace, but he's not an ace. So
and he's a damn good number 5. Like to
Yeah.
have his number 5,
Yeah.
he's a damn good option. Is he going to get starts in the postseason? Probably not. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It'll probably be one of those things where you're going to go to your main guys. You're going to go to Cole. You're going to go to Rodon. We don't know what's going on with Luis Hill yet. You're going to go to Stroman, stuff like that. Schmidt, I thought pitched very well yesterday. I was more not concerned. I was more curious to see how he was going to do. I had more faith in Luis Hill because obviously Luis Hill hasn't missed as much time. So Luis Hill came back, looked excellent. You know what I'm saying? Against a Cubs team that has been performing well as of late too. Like that's not like let's not act like this is against a bottom dweller. The Cubs just came off a no-hitter as well. You know what I'm saying? So their pitching staff has been doing well. So we were able to shut down the team that's played hot as of late. And Clark Schmidt looked decent yesterday. He some good signs. Got into a little bit of trouble. I think Boone kind of pulled him a little bit early, trying to get the W and trying to get Nestor Cortes in there. But all that matters is that we got the W. But as far as Cortes, I could definitely see him as long relief. And a situational lefty. Like if you got a bunch of lefties coming up, like for example, if we face the Orioles in the playoffs, the Orioles are a left-handed switch hitter heavy lineup. A lot of their guys mostly hit from the left side, being that the majority of the league is right-handed. So you bring in Nestor Cortes in a situation to face Gunnar Henderson, to face, some of their bigger bats. You might be able to get yourself, and if we go against, let's say, if we go against the Astros as well, Kyle Tucker just came back. Alvarez, they're both lefties. You're going to need that lefty arm out of the bullpen. I just think he serves better from a pen role, in my opinion.
I don't disagree. And this was something that I've mentioned many times too, is that, once the Yankees have all their starters back, I mean, they're not going to run a 6-man rotation. Who's the guy that goes back to the pen? And it's like, there's times where Nestor shows like he belongs in the rotation, but then there's times he shows like, he might be better off coming out of the bullpen. Some folks said something about him being a closer, but I wouldn't put him in that role. But as a guy that comes out of the bullpen can give you, 3 innings, 4 innings. That's the kind of guy that I expect him to be. And once the Yankees have, all their guys back, he was my pick to go back to the bullpen. Absolutely. Same. So, and like you said, he was a guy that was almost traded. So, maybe the claim that you're making, man, it's his way of talking himself up too and making himself look good out there. He's not going to say he's a bad pitcher, right? He's not going to make himself look bad. He's going to definitely try and live up to his word. But you know what? Nestor was fine out of the bullpen, and they might continue doing that with him. I mean, towards the end of the season, I mean, not a lot of baseball left. Nope. Where are we at? Like 19 games, 18 games?
Yeah, about. I think we're at 20-something games left.
Yeah,
we're down to the final few weeks. It's as simple as that, and we have ourselves a half-game lead. Baltimore's right behind us, so this is the time that you want to start winning series. Like that last series versus Texas, make that the last series that you lost. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to start coming out here and putting together series wins, and game 2s have been a pain in the ass for us this last month and a half. Like this is what I was saying on my channel a couple of days ago. I fully feel like we need to get the division, because now granted, my opinion could change based on these last 3 weeks of playing, but considering how we played that last 10-game stretch where we had 10 rubber matches in a row, where we come out, look dominant the first game. Game 2 was a loss. Game 3 was really a crapshoot. You never knew who was going to win. So as a Yankee fan, I would like to see us get the division, because I want that home field advantage. You know what I'm saying? I want people to have to come to our house and face us down, and you got to start stacking series wins. Looking at the schedule right now, Kansas City, they're a playoff team. They're young. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be facing them next series. Then we go against Boston for a 4-game set. You know that they always get up for us. You know that's their World Series. Then we have a late game West Coast trip, a late season West Coast trip, which I was really not a fan of, and I was hoping that we had more room where Seattle, who's got great pitching, Hitting is kind of, suspect, but they've got great pitching. Oakland, we fully need to sweep them. Then it's coming down to that second to last series in the Bronx versus the Orioles, where we have to, if we go in even with them, they have the season series. We have to sweep them to be able to get the season series. Going into that series, I would love to have at least a 2-game lead going into that series, and then we finish off against Pittsburgh before we get ready for the playoffs. So this baseball season went like that. It's almost over.
Yeah. 20 games left in the season, man. So it's like, 20 games is not a lot. I mean, those 20 games are going to fly by. I mean, this whole season flew by because, September came around and I said, whoa, I was like, it's already here. Like the end of the season, it's already here. There's only 20 games left. Like this is wild, and thank God, like you said, we don't have to worry about a rubber game today. Cause I was just like, I got used to it by now. It's like, all right, the Yankees are going to play another rubber game. What's going to happen? But they now actually have an opportunity to sweep, which I think is crazy to think about. Cause the last time they swept was against the Phillies. Back, and that was in late July, which was surprising.
And I thought that was the moment that things were clicking for them because Philly is a serious contender. And let's be honest, we smacked them. We held Bryce Harper and Schwarber to, I believe, one hit that they got in their last at-bats in Game 3. So I'm like, okay, the Yankees are going into this. The trade deadline is coming up that day, or when the trade deadline had just passed. I'm like, it's the go button. It's go time. But then this month of August was one to forget. And hopefully, September, you know how baseball is. The hottest teams are going to start, showing themselves. Look at what the Mets are doing right now. I'm not saying the Mets currently hold a playoff spot. The Mets are on a 10-game winning streak. Teams that get hot right now tend to carry that into the playoffs around this time. So I'm hoping that the Yankees in his next 3 weeks can get hot. And it starts with the players. It starts with the, manager Boone. The bullpen has to step up exponentially. So it's like, this is the time. It's, you got to get it done.
Yeah, and the bullpen is going to be the big thing here, right? So because they got they're starting to solidify that bullpen. Ian Hamilton's back in the bullpen, so it's great to see him back. We'll see what happens if they bring Scott Efros back up. We'll see what happens with Lou Trevino because I know he's been pitching down there in the minors. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with this bullpen because the bullpen is going to be really, really important. And this is, I remember a couple of weeks ago, I was saying that I was more worried about the bats because the bats at one point they were not hitting. Nobody was hitting really. The bats were not performing. But now here I am a couple of weeks later. I'm like, you know what? Actually, the bullpen is my big concern because I don't care what the lineup is. Well, I do care about what the lineup is, but the lineup can be whatever it is. Like today's lineup, I'll bring it up like I always do and talk predictions here a little bit later. But the bullpen could be whatever it can be. Or the lineup could be whatever it can be. But if the bullpen is not solid, if the pitching is not solid, especially in the playoffs, the team is going to fail ultimately. You could put whatever players in the lineup, you could put whatever bats, but if the bullpen is not where it needs to be, if the pitching is not where it needs to be, the team's going to fail. And pitching wins games. It matters a lot. In the postseason. So let me get your thoughts on that. Tell me if you agree or disagree.
Oh, I agree. You know what I'm saying? And long past the days of where we knew Mariano Rivera was coming out of that pen, Sandman to put him to sleep. But it's got to be a bullpen by committee guy type committee situation. And realistically, numbers be damn. You got to go off the field. You know what I'm saying? Like if a guy is pitching well and, because Aaron Boone has dropped the ball in the past, and in the playoffs, especially when it comes to the bullpen, you have to just say, look, all hands on deck. You know what I'm saying? I know you pitched yesterday, but dude, can you give me 2 today? Can you give me an inning today? You know what I'm saying? Like some guys have to start separating themselves. Like I know people are going to throw out the numbers on Clay Holmes too that, he's done well in the playoffs, but it's a guy that I still do not have faith in the big game situations. Like I know you were calling it yesterday when he was warming up. A lot of people were starting to hold their breath like, no, Boone, don't do it again, bro. You just gave us one game. But then luckily Nestor Cortes came out, played well, got the W. We didn't, he pretty much saved our bullpen as well. We didn't have to go deep into it as well because Cortes gave us pretty much a starting, outing. But the bullpen could be an issue in the playoffs. Depends on the matchups. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to be able to make sure you have your best guys out there in best situations. Realistically, I'm a fan when it comes to bullpen, giving a bullpen arm a fresh inning. Don't try to steal outs with the previous pitcher. It doesn't have to even be a starter, right? Give the new reliever a fresh inning. Nobody on, nobody out. Let him go out there and let it be his. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're starting an inning. If he gets in trouble, I understand pulling him. But to start, let him come in. It ekes me to no end when Boone tries to steal an out like from a starter. Like, okay, let's try to get one more inning from Stroman, knowing that he just struggled the previous inning. All of a sudden, he lets two guys on, and you're bringing a bullpen arm out in a pressure-packed situation and saying, hey, shut this down. Like, that's a lot of pressure on the guy, especially in the playoffs. Give him clean innings. But ultimately, at the end of the day, the bats have to get going. Like, it's not going to matter what's going to happen with the bullpen if we're not hitting. The Yankees have to go hit. The difference between this year and last year and previous years, Juan Soto is proven in the playoffs. He's been there. He's done that. And then we have a bunch of young guys that don't know what they don't know. Now, I expect a big year from Aaron Judge this year because it just feels differently with Soto in the lineup. We need, let me tell you this. We're going to go as far as in the playoffs as Judge and Soto take us, for real. Those two guys, even though lately we've been winning without them, those two guys need to step up. We're not going the distance unless they both step up. It's as simple as that. In the playoffs, you need your best players to perform. But then I'm also looking at guys like Volpe and Wells who you don't know what you don't know. Like the whole Houston owns us mantra. Austin Wells doesn't know that. Anthony Volpe doesn't know that. Soto for shit damn sure doesn't know that because he's had success against them. Yeah. So it's like, it's looking like we're gonna get matched up with them again. It seems like baseball is like trying to get that going, and I'm all with that. So the bullpen is a big thing, but we're going to go as far as the bats take us as well. And, we performed well against good pitching, which is what we will be facing in the playoffs. So we'll see what happens. But the bats got to get going. The bullpen's got to shut it down. We need just like a complete team come October.
Yeah. September right now, like this month is crucial. It's crucial. And, hopefully going into the postseason, going into October, man, hopefully this team is ready, from the offense to the defense, to the bullpen, the starting rotation. Hopefully they make some good, smart roster moves. You got to play your best men. You got to play your best players.
We don't do that here. We don't do that here. We don't do that here.
Well, the lineup's been looking, this series, it's been consistent so far, right? But we'll see what happens. But before I keep going, I want to give a shout out to Rodney for gifting 5 Strike Zone memberships. Rodney, you're the man, bro. You're the man, and I hope you're doing well. All right, I hope you're doing well, Rodney. Let me know in the chat. And for Ken for gifting a Strike Zone membership. So shout out to you, sir, for gifting a Strike Zone membership. So Ken, Rodney, you guys are awesome. Thank you guys so much for your support. Thank you to everybody for your support. It does mean the world to me. If you did get a gift, make sure you thank them if you're in the chat. So very generous of you, gentlemen. But like I said, man, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Like I said, hopefully they put the best roster out there. I think based on what Boone's been doing in this series, he's been putting out the best lineup he possibly can. So he has been putting out the best guys. I do understand that, Wells is not going to be able to play every game. I mean, he's going to have to get some rest as well. I mean, he can't, you're going to have to plug in Jose Trevino, but I feel like with Rizzo, he could play every game, but if you're not going to play him, put Oswaldo in there. I do want to see Oswaldo instead of DJ. I like DJ, but his best days are behind him. Unfortunately, and it catches up with every player, man. It catches up with the best of them too. The good ones and the best ones. I mean, injuries, age, you can't beat it. you can't.
Father
Athletes,
Time is undefeated.
it is undefeated, man, and it just happens to everybody, and we've seen it happen to the best of them.
Yep.
But yeah, going into this series, so it's also worth mentioning with those two games that the Yankees, like, they shut the Cubs down 2 straight games. The Cubs bats just couldn't get anything going. So I didn't know this, but this is the Yankees' 13th shutout this season from yesterday. So they're tied for third most in Major League Baseball. So an interesting stat, and they are, like I said, on the road. They're 45-29 on the road. So I mean, what do you think of this, man? I mean, 13 shutout this season, 45-29 on the road. That's the best in all of Major League Baseball. It's crazy to think that they're great on the road, but because usually they're on the road, they're not I don't want to say they're not the greatest, but their home record is better than their road record. Mm-hmm. So what do you think, man? What do you think about this?
As far as shutting them out, great. We've also been shut out a lot too this year.
This is true.
We on the flip side of that, if we're gonna keep it 100%, we got to make sure we tell them. I think I chalked it up to baseball. You know what I'm saying? You have teams that really just depends on who you're playing as well. But the home field advantage needs to be the home field advantage. Like, the numbers are great, but I'm looking to, especially, like, it doesn't scare me that we haven't played as well at home on the road. I still want that home field advantage. A lot of those home losses have actually come in extra innings this year, where we've mismanaged. I believe we've only won 1 out of 7 extra inning games, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but I do know it's only 1 in extra innings. So those numbers could look a lot different if we actually had the home field advantage of the extra innings, which we did. We just couldn't capitalize on that, So those numbers could be a little screwed, but it does bode well that, you're playing well on the road. You're going to other teams' ballparks, handling your business. A lot of that was early in the season when our offense would get off to hot starts. You know what I'm saying? Then our pitching would come out, shut them out, and we had ourselves a decent lead. We got to get back to that brand of baseball, in my opinion. But the home versus road numbers don't really scare me. We're gonna need home field advantage, in my opinion, in the playoffs.
Yeah, I used to. I don't want to say I used to, but I'm in the past. I know having home field advantage was huge, right? Now I feel like in this day and age with baseball, I don't. It matters, but I feel like it matters to an extent, because you saw in the 2023 postseason, the best teams, man, they got eliminated, right? The Braves, who I thought was going to go to the World Series, I thought it was going to be a Braves and Orioles World Series, and I thought the Braves were going to take the whole thing, because the Braves were just on fire last year. They were the best team in baseball. They had the best record in baseball, and we all saw what happened to them. And the World Series ended up being 2 wild card teams that nobody expected. And, I just think that, like you mentioned earlier, the teams that are the hottest and carry that momentum going into the postseason, usually they're the big threat. Those are the teams you got to watch out for. So, home field advantage is nice. I like it. But to me, it's like, at the same time, it doesn't guarantee anything. It doesn't. And you never know what's going to happen in the postseason. I again, for one, did not expect it to be a Diamondbacks and Texas Rangers World Series, and Texas ended up winning the whole thing. I didn't expect that. I didn't have Texas winning. I don't think anybody else did either. So I can't speak for you, but my thing is, it's just, I get the home field advantage, but at the same time, you still got to go out there and play and perform, because those teams that are coming to your stadium, they're gonna come in hot, and they're gonna give you a hard time. So this is where, if the Yankees are gonna have home field advantage, you got to be ready. You got to be ready on all avenues. So bullpen, rotation, offense, lineup, whatever it is, you got to be ready, because those teams, like I said, when they go into Yankee Stadium, they know what they're up against, and they're going to make their adjustments.
Yep. So, like I said, the hottest teams usually around this time tend to, I want to become the hottest team and get home field advantage. I'm trying to get greedy. Let's do it. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I'm all for greed. Hey, I want to get greedy too. I want it too. But hopefully hopefully that happens. But also, hopefully, the Yankees get a sweep today with against the Cubs. So I don't know if you saw the lineup.
I did.
But I'll pull up the lineup real quick and we'll talk about it. And let me share that real quick on the screen. And I'll get everybody else's opinions on the lineup. Did you want to read it off, man?
Sure.
Yeah, go for
All
it.
right. The lineup for our New York Yankees versus the Chicago Cubs. We got Gleyber Torres leading things off yet again at second base. Juan Soto in right field. Aaron Judge in center. Austin Wells in a cleanup spot behind home plate. Giancarlo Stanton DHing. Jazz Chisholm at third. Rizzo behind him playing first. Anthony Volpe, the Gold Glove shortstop behind him. And then Alex Verdugo in left field with Garrett Cole on the bump.
I'm sorry, I had to laugh because that's
that's
reaction, man.
That's what it is, man. You got to sigh at Verdugo, man. Like he gives us the best chance to win, so that's why he's out there.
And we could debate that. Because I was having this small debate yesterday, and I've been kind of talking with some other content creators about this whole Dominguez Verdugo thing. But like
what was your reaction when he almost got doubled up at back at first yesterday?
My reaction was, "Are you kidding me?" I was like, "Dude, what are you doing?" I mean, I understand like players are humans, and you have sometimes your brain is not functioning, but that one was unusual because I've never seen Verdugo do that, but I don't know what he was thinking. Did he think that the center fielder couldn't see the ball, that he was going to drop the ball, or I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there, but I don't know. I'm just trying to think. But that was again, that was a little unusual for me.
Yeah. You're supposed to. The rule is you're supposed to go halfway. He went about 3/4 of the way, and I'm like, dude, what are you doing? And he actually got saved by the replay. But you know how the Yankees are. Even if he would have got picked off, they're not benching his ass anyway. Boone would just be like, it's okay. It's okay. He'll be in the post game. Like Alex Verdugo did some good things on the base pad that day. It was fine that he got picked off on a routine fly ball to center. Like, come on.
But folks, what do you all think about this lineup? Listen, I'm a fan of the lineup. I'm glad the lineup it is what it is. They just need to score some runs, and hopefully Garrett Cole can have a solid outing. I do expect a solid outing by Garrett Cole. So he is still our ace as far as I'm concerned. So, but the lineup, I do like the lineup, right? Torres has actually been playing quite well over the last month, and he's been hitting quite well at the leadoff spot. Soto's been coming alive again. So his bat's starting to wake up again. He kind of hit a little bit of a slump. Judge is still, slumping a little.
He should have had one yesterday.
He should have had one yesterday. Yeah. Absolutely. He should have had one yesterday, but it was the wind. So I can't really fault him for that. But even then, his bat's been a little quiet as of late, but that's all right. His bat will come around. Austin Wells, he's been playing quite well. He threw out 2 guys yesterday, which was fantastic. I was
great.
Like, good for you.
2 very fast guys, by the way. So yep. So that's I'm impressed by that, especially that second throw. That second throw mechanically was so beautiful because the guy got a good jump, and it was a nice compact mechanic quick throw and beautiful placement right there. So yeah, I'm impressed with him behind the plate.
For sure. Yeah. No, Wells he's been good at the plate. He's been good defensively as well. Giancarlo Stanton, I mean, you know what you're getting with him. I mean, it's like, he's still a threat at the plate, but when he's on, man. There's no doubt there. Jazz Chisholm, he's been great to have on this team, especially another threat on the bases. The guy is full of energy, man. He could run. He could run like it's nobody else's business. The guy could run. Rizzo's been looking good since he's been back from his injury. Volpe's, he's been showing some improvement as well. Verdugo, yes, I know a lot of people feel a certain way about him. He's been better, but not, I know it's not enough. But, like I said, in the beginning of the season, he was looking great, and I know his bat has been cold, but I'd still say defensively, I like him in left field, man. Defensively, he's saved the Yankees' asses many times. Just saying, he's made some plays, and the Yankees haven't had a left fielder in quite some time. They've had some bad left fielders. The last guy that they had was Brett Gardner. So after that, it was like they had nobody. So he does, defensively, he does make a difference in left field. And Jerry, I don't know why you're saying he's a spy for the Red Sox. That's kind of weird, but okay. That's kind of weird.
If only baseball implemented a way for us to have a designated fielder where you just threw somebody out there just to field and have somebody else hit for him, that'd be great. Because I'm just tired of seeing him ground out to second base. Like, yeah.
Well, maybe Rob Manfred will come out with something like that. You'll just watch. They're coming out with all sorts of other crazy rules. So
yeah, we can't put him any lower than 9, unfortunately. So, but I'm looking to get it done today. You know what I'm saying? Like same lineup that we've had out there for the past couple of days. This apps, like looking at this, all Jason Dominguez stuff aside, this is possibly the best lineup that you could throw out there for the New York Yankees. This is probably what we will see in the playoffs. Them throwing this out here for the rest of the year, getting everybody used to their spots, because this is what's going to be the playoffs. And Garrett Cole's on a bump today. We need him to have a good outing out there, and let's go for the sweep, man. I need a sweep. It's as simple as that. Like this, we've shut him out. Let's go out there, get it done, get the sweep. Get some momentum going into the Kansas City series tomorrow.
Yeah, because after this, Cubs series, like you said, Kansas City comes into town and they are hot right now. So the Yankees got to be ready for them. They have a 3-game set. They beat Kansas City 3 out of 4 earlier in the season. They could have swept them, but we all know what happened there.
You could say that's when our woes started, when we blew that last game versus Kansas City. So let's get right against them. And a little thing to watch out for, the batting average race between him and Bobby Witt Jr., Judge and Bobby Witt Jr. You know what I'm saying? This series could, they could help Aaron Judge get one step closer to that triple crown if we're able to shut down Bobby Witt this week.
Yeah, no, 100%, man. Hopefully, it'll be fun. It's going to be a fun series. It'll be a good series. Like I said, Kansas City's hot. And after Kansas City, they got that 4-game set against Boston. That is going to be crucial because, Boston, they don't back down, man. They just don't. That's a team that you don't ever count that team out, especially when it comes to the Yankees. Because when it comes to the Red Sox Yankees, it's like you just don't know what's going to happen. The Red Sox, they will bring it. And they have a good manager in Alex Cora. There's no denying that. Who signed an extension with the Red Sox, which it shouldn't surprise anybody as far as them extending Alex Cora, because I know a lot of Yankees fans will love to have him as a manager, but we know it's not going to happen. So
we also got to root for the Red Sox because they're going against the Orioles tomorrow. So
yeah,
we got to root for them for 3 games. And then hope that they lay down against us for 4 games, which should interesting week for those people over there in Boston.
Yeah, no doubt, man. So yeah, sometimes you got to root for the division rivals, man, because it's going to benefit your team. So sometimes it's just you got to put the personal feelings to the side and look at this as as a business. So and be like, you know what, we got to have this team win because it's going to help the Yankees. As long as it helps the Yankees, that's really what I care about. But what are your how are you feeling about Garrett Cole though, man? Let's get into some of these predictions, and folks in the chat, drop your predictions for Garrett Cole. What do you got going for him today, man?
Let me get 7 from Cole. Let me get 7 because it's teasing, especially considering the other guys have gotten 0s on the board.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, this is Garrett Cole. Like he should be able to, get it done. Let me get 7. Let me go with 8 Ks. 1 run given up because it's hard to shut out a team for 3 games in baseball. It really is. Let's go 7, 1 run given up. Let's go 4 hits, 8 Ks, and I'm gonna say about 2 double. Well, when you do the double plays, you mean like how many the Yankees ground into, right? Okay, one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say
One
one.
double play. All right. Yeah. Yeah. I would want 7 innings by. Yeah, 7 strong innings by Garrett Cole. That's what I would want from him. I think 7 innings. 7 innings. Let's go 9 strikeouts. I'm going 9. I think he'll walk. I think he'll walk 2 batters and 1 run. I'll give him 1 run to give up. I think inevitably he will give up a run. So I'm giving him 7 innings, 9 strikeouts, 2 walks, 1 run.
Yeah.
That's what I got for our ace. And Ken says 7 innings pitched, 10 strikeouts, 2 walks, no earned runs. So this is where people start dropping.
I'll take that.
Nosebleed says 6 innings, 7 strikeouts, 2 walks, no runs. He's going 1 double play. I'll go 2. I'm going to go 2 double plays. And it's also worth mentioning the Yankees are actually going up against Jameson Taillon,
Yep. The
former
former
New York Yankee.
Well, yeah, we don't fare well against former Yankees this year. So yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say it's gonna be different. Let's go 6-2 ball game, Yankees.
6-2 ball game.
Yep.
Yeah. So Nosebleed section is saying 4-0. Okay. So he's expecting another shutout. I'm going to go. I mean, I don't know how windy it is in Chicago today. I don't know what the weather is like, but just based on how the last couple of games went, you know what? I'm going to go 4-2. I'm going to go
Okay.
4-2. That's that. I'll stick with that.
I think
So
someone's popping one tonight. They go back into the clubhouse, do a couple extra push-ups. Somebody's hitting one through that wind today. Like they saw it yesterday. It's gonna be Stanton. I'm going Stanton with a home run today.
Stanton with a home run. I like it. I like it. Yeah, I think I'm going Judge. Man, he's due for one. He hasn't hit a home run in several games now. He is definitely due for one. So let's see. Demon D is saying 7 innings pitched, 10 strikeouts. I'll take that. And Ken saying 4-0, still windy as hell. Well, if that's the case, then I'll take 4-0. I'll take another shutout. No home run by Nosebleed. 3-1 Yanks by Egyptian. Demon D says Judge hits 2 homers. All right. Well, I'll take it. But let's go. Alex Verdugo hits a home run too. Just for the hell of it.
Imagine. I can't even imagine that. Like watch, but see, this is one of those things where watch it happen.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Anytime you dog on somebody, next thing you know, they shut you up, and it's like it's happened all year round with me with Gleyber Torres and that one game with DJ LeMay, you hit a grand slam. I'm just like, okay, so
yeah, and I know, and it's funny too, right? Because whenever I do the whole prediction segment, when it's like Nestor Cortes, for example, I say, oh, well, Nestor or Stroman, they'll go like, 4 innings and, strike out a few, walk a couple. Next thing you know, it's like they perform better than expected. I'm like, okay, that's cool. Like Stroman, like that one game he pitched against the Detroit Tigers when he pitched against Skubal, he actually held his own against Skubal. Him and Skubal were going head to head, and he was able to keep up.
Yeah.
So yeah, baseball is a funny sport, man. You never know what's going to happen. So, but yeah, anything for you doing anything for? I know it's football Sunday, man. So, doing anything for food? What are we munching on?
I am debating. It's literally gonna be a game time decision for me if I'm gonna call the Yankees at 2:20 or go to the bar and check out all the games in 5 minutes. I have no idea. But if I go to the bar, obviously it's gonna be bar food. But
yeah, of course.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those things where it's like the Yankees. The Yankees are gonna take precedence on my channel when it's during over the Giants. But it is like the first day of football, and the Yankees do have this series wrapped up. So it's like, do I want to go hit the bar? Do I want to stream the game? We'll see what happens, but make sure you tune in to find out.
Yeah, no doubt, man. No doubt. And my guy, Old Sarge, this guy always comes out with some funny predictions. He says Canley's pants win closer role with tight performance. Wells' mustache goes 3 for 4. Throws out 3 runners. Scandal. Verdugo's bet identifies as pool noodle. Old Sarge always coming through with the funny predictions, man. Shout out to you, Old Sarge.
What about you? What are you eating?
What am I eating? I don't know yet, man. I haven't really. I had like some fruit in the morning. I still don't know what I'm gonna eat. I'm getting hungry now.
Can't go wrong
So
pizza on football Sunday.
I mean, dude, so I was thinking about pizza too. So I might actually go pick something up because I am gonna do the play-by-play later on for the Yankees. But I'm definitely gonna be keeping up with the NFL scores, especially particularly with the Giants. We'll follow what they're doing, but I'm also gonna see what everybody else is doing, what all the other teams are doing. Also, gonna see my fantasies because I'm on 3 fantasy teams right now. So I'll see how the fantasies are doing. So yeah, I'll be multitasking. I'll be checking football scores. I'll be checking, obviously I'll be calling the game. So yeah, looks like, nosebleed section's having leftover pizza, Def Finch, chicken strip and jalapeno poppers. Okay. So Wrigley wind conditions, 15.6 miles per hour sustained, gust up to 25. Yeah, it doesn't sound like there's going to be a lot of home runs today, but
Yeah,
and New York style pizza from Sal's, New York style pizza ace. So
Sal's is good. Depending on the Sal's, the one in Norfolk is good. Everywhere else is kind of bad. So
yeah. Well, I know
me
you
and
both
Ken
live
live
in the
near each
same
other. Yeah,
state.
we live near each other.
Yeah. Oh, so Hill was released. Not did Tyreek Hill get
I saw he got detained. It's
oh
just
man.
the cops must got money on the Jacksonville Jaguars today. They're like, hey, we got to lock Tyreek up for game time. But I did see that. Why I don't know. But I just like I said, I just got up and I saw it. I'm just like, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, I'm trying to check and see because man, that is that's bad news for the Dolphins.
They're saying driving
So
violation, but what driving violation outside of what driving violation besides reckless driving can really get you detained?
okay, Ken's saying a car accident.
But why would he
So
get detained over that? A car accident? Was he
unless if
drunk?
he, my only guess is if he was drunk or if it was like he was completely reckless. I mean, drunk driving. I mean, for sure you would get detained, but
Yeah, that's crazy. So hopefully that situation resolves itself and stuff like that. So
yeah, no doubt. And he says huli chicken on the grill, Mediterranean salad, red potatoes, ranch and dill dressing. Okay, okay. Uh, yeah, no, that sounds really good. And then Jerry, the Jets are going to surprise this year. Well, we'll see. I mean, they got a game tomorrow against the Niners. The Niners they're a tough team, so I know the Jets defense is supposed to be really good just from listening to all my Jets friends. But yeah, we'll see, man. Football, it's football Sunday. It's Yankees baseball today, so it's gonna be a good Sunday, man. So you don't know if you're calling the game yet today,
I don't
or
know yet. I haven't decided yet.
you haven't decided?
Yeah, I haven't really decided yet. So we'll see
Yeah,
what happens. But if I do, I'll probably live around 2:20 and just keep up with the Giants game. I'm kind of leaning towards just watching the first, half of the Giants football and then just pop it on the Yankees. So we'll see what happens.
yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, what do you think, Giants, Vikings? How
Must
are you
win.
feeling?
Game one is a must win. We're going against we're the underdogs. Daniel Jones, make or break year for him this year. This is one of the more winnable games in our schedule. Our front seven needs to get it done. Our secondary is going to have problems against Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. That's, to be expected. You got to put Sam Darnold on his ass. And I look forward to seeing how the Giants offensive line plays, this newly vamped O-line. Haven't done a lot of Giants content this year, but I have kept up with them. I will be probably doing some post-game stuff. Because like I said, when the Yankees and Giants play at the same time, I'm gonna be calling the Yankees over the Giants. Probably won't be able to call my first Giants game until week 3 because of the Yankee schedule. The Yankees play at 4, the Giants play at 1. So
I understand.
but we're gonna see what happens. I think we could shock some people. Our wide receiving core is definitely the best weapons Daniel Jones has had in a long time in his career.
Hmm.
So our wide receiving core very underrated with Hyatt, Wandale Robinson, who's becoming very popular, and then Jalen Malik Neighbors as well. Malik Neighbors, expect him to be really good. So let's see what happens. I know Giant fans are pissed off at Saquon Barkley, going off, but it was to be expected. He wouldn't have done that for us. Their team is a lot better than we are. So
Yeah, yeah, no doubt. I mean, yeah, it's Eagles. They have a solid team, so there's no denying that. But going back to the Yankees, I mean, now they're 82 and 60. They got a half a game. They're a half a game ahead of the Orioles. I know there's 20 games left, and as I'm checking the Orioles-Rays game right now, it looks like they're going to the bottom of the third. It's still 0-0 in that game. So those two teams are playing each other right now. Do you feel confident that the Yankees could still finish in first place with 20 games left?
If they play to their potential. Like when the Yankees are at their best, I do think so. The starting rotation, like I said, is going to be the healthiest it's been all season long. We haven't seen all these guys together at the same time. Cole, Schmidt, Rodon, Hill, Stroman. Because when one was down, all of a sudden before before Cole came back, Schmidt went down. So I think the starting rotation is going to carry us to the division.
Yeah, no doubt. I am in the belief that they can win this division, but it's going to be really, really tight. It's going to be tight. I don't think it's going to be one of these years where they're going to win the division by 3 or 4 games. It's going to be tight, man. I have a feeling it's going to be like 1 or 2 games that they're going to win the division by if they win this division. And in the beginning, in the offseason, I predicted that this team would win 95 games.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they were gonna make it to 100. But 95 I felt like was a solid number, and I feel like that's still attainable. Right now they're at 82, so that's 13 more for my prediction. I don't know what you had for them, how many games you had for them winning.
I had about 92 to 95. No one's getting 100 this year, so no one's getting 100 games this year.
No one's getting, yeah.
On a side note, CT Card says, when's the last time my Giants beat the Eagles? Last game of the season last year. We made them quit. We're on a winning streak versus them, so yeah.
I mean, you mentioned no teams are going to win 100 games. I mean, Phillies and Dodgers both have 85 wins, but maybe one of them could win 100 games. I could see potentially one of them winning 100 games. I don't know. What do you think?
I think it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough because less than 20 games, you would have to pretty much play. You got to look at the Dodgers schedule. They got a 4-game set versus Atlanta.
Ooh,
Then they towards the end of the year they're going against the Padres, who the Padres are fighting for a top wild card spot. Granted, they have 2 stints versus the Rockies, the Rockies, the Marlins in between then, and then they're facing the Cubs. I think they'll get high 90s, but ultimately I think they'll fall short of 100.
Yeah, and the Rockies are one of those. They could be really tricky,
especially if you're playing in Colorado.
Oh yeah. It's it does get tricky playing at Coors Field. I'll tell you what. But and I'm looking at the Philly schedule because let's see,
I'm looking at it too.
They got the Marlins, they got the Rays, they have the Mets. They're playing the Mets twice though. Like they have a 3-game set against the Mets at Citi Field, and then they have a 4-game set. Or actually, no, 4-game set at Citi Field, 3-game set at their ballpark. Then they got the Cubs and the Nationals. So it's like their schedule this week and next week it gets a little tough. But then towards the end of the season, it gets easy because they have the Cubs and the Nationals.
Yeah. So we'll see. Like I said, I'm still going to put on. I think 96 wins is what the highest team is going to get. I think they're going to fall short of 100. It's going to be tough.
Yeah, and it's interesting that I don't know, like no team. There's really not a team out there where you could confidently say this team is going to be a World Series contender, right? You can't make that prediction because this year it's been interesting, and I feel like the offensive numbers have been down.
Yeah.
I feel like the offensive numbers have been down. There's not going to be a team that's going to get 100 wins because usually you have some team that gets 100 wins, but not the case this year. I don't know if that has to do a lot with the injuries that have gone down this season because there's been a ton of injuries this season. But it's different. This season is a lot different. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but maybe you might have some insight on it. But you tell me.
It's one of those years where it seemed like it could be anybody's year. This is why it was even more frustrating that we weren't more aggressive at the deadline, because you could have separated yourself from these other teams if you had a more aggressive trade deadline. But I'm talking about the New York Yankees, because
Right,
like
right.
it's disappointing, you know what I'm saying? Because no team has really looked like they're pulling away from everybody else. So like I said, this really does feel like it's the year where it can be anybody's ball game. The hottest team probably can get there, and you know, we'll see. And I just hope at the end of the day that it is the Yankees. I hope that they're able to get their stuff together, because look, number 28 would be beautiful, especially to be calling the games on stream. And I already said it. If by some chance the Yankees make it to the World Series and win it, I'm going to the parade. So I hope to see you there. Take a flight to New York and let's go kick it.
Yeah, well, I'm long overdue for a trip to New York. Maybe I don't know. Maybe sometime I want to try and figure something out for next season. But I know I got some folks in the chat that are going to come out. Actually, planning a trip to come out to Colorado, because they're coming out to Colorado next season. So May 2025, it's going to be Memorial Day weekend. So I know there's a couple of folks that have already planned their trip to come out here. And there's a couple of people I know that live out here that I met through one of the other content creators. I actually met up with them. We actually met up and got some food, and they were cool. It was a couple that were that live out here. So they live a few hours away from me, but they were actually on their way up, and they're like, "Hey, how would you like to?" I was like, "Would you like to meet up?" I was like, "Yeah, let's meet up." So I'm planning on meeting up with them. So we're trying to get a little crew going here in Colorado. So, and Coors Field is a cool stadium, man. It's a cool stadium, and the view is beautiful with all the mountains in the background. So,
Nice.
yeah, it's really cool. So, yeah, I don't know about the parade, but if the Yankees do win one, but I would love to come. It'd be cool to meet up with you at a game in the Bronx. I think that would be dope, because like I said, I am due for a trip to the East. So
Come to VA, and you, Ken, and myself. Let's all head to Camden Yards, Baltimore. It's about 3 hours away from here. Let's go invade that place next year.
All right, yeah. I mean, that's
That'd be dope.
that's an idea.
Yeah, trip on Ken. So thanks, Ken. Appreciate you.
Yeah, and Ken, I'll be sleeping on your couch, since you like to mention how you're going to sleep on mine.
Oh yeah, Ken got that sectional. So. But look, man, I do appreciate you for having me on. I do got to book out of here.
Yeah.
Good luck in your stream today. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe to the Strike Zone. NFE is giving you guys really good content. Appreciate you for coming on. Second time I got to come on here. Definitely got to have you come on my stream pretty soon. Maybe we'll call a game together.
Yeah. We'll figure out a time and day that works best. And then, I would love to, man. And we could call a game together. Ace, and as always, man, I appreciate you coming on. Thank you for showing the support and love. And folks, make sure you guys support the Ace Avenue. I mean, he does a really good job on his channel. So make sure you guys support him. Go subscribe to his channel. Again, it doesn't cost you a penny. So go support him. Let's get his channel growing. Let's get this channel growing. Let's support the local content creators. So, this isn't, I don't know about you, but when I first started this, it wasn't easy, but never would have thought I'd be doing something like this. So,
oh, absolutely. It's not easy, but it's fun and it's worth it.
Totally worth it. Yeah.
Just the community alone that, you build on a day-to-day basis, I'm saying, you starting to see the growth from your first subscriber to where you are now is just crazy. And that's what I'm saying. We're totally appreciative of everything that you guys do, whether you like, comment, subscribe, share the stream, donate, stuff like that. All that doesn't get lost. We appreciate you guys.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. We always, as for me, always appreciate people's support. Like, the support means the world. Like, even being a subscriber, it means a lot. Like, those, when we see those numbers go up, it does mean the world to us. So, Ace, again, thank you for coming on, man. We'll talk again soon.
Cool.
And we'll go from there, bro.
Cool. Appreciate you, man. Have a good one. And go Yankees and go Giants.
Let's go. Let's go. New York, New York. Peace, man. But shout out to the Ace Avenue for coming on. Thank you so much, Ace. He's the man. So, folks, make sure you guys subscribe to his channel. He does a really good job over there. I'm actually going to wrap it up here pretty soon because I know football is starting. I know you all want to get into your football, get into your food. I'm actually going to go pick up some food because now I'm getting a little hungry myself. But the Yankees game will start here in an hour and 15 minutes. The football games, a lot of football games are starting right now. So I'll probably watch some of the games right now and just catch up on some of the scores, see what the teams are doing, and go from there. Folks in the chat, thank you all for coming on. I appreciate everybody's support. Folks, if this is the first time on this channel, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share this channel out for everyone you know. I would greatly appreciate it. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. So for anybody who has not been subscribed to this channel, please subscribe to this channel. Thank you all for your support. Shout out to Rodney and Ken for the memberships. Thank you all. Thank you, gentlemen, so much. Folks, thank you for coming on. Enjoy your Sunday. Enjoy your football. Let's go, Yankees. And we will see you soon for the play-by-play. Enjoy.